Hello, welcome to FM Corner. I'm Danny Koontz, Director of Relationship Management for Windy City. Today we're going to talk about a topic that everyone that uses pretty much third-party CMMS providers and so on, or even if they're not inside their own company, and that's NTEs. We're going to talk about how you get value out of NTEs today. NTE is a term not to exceed. Many companies go to this, and it is for the purpose of finding ways to save money. If you put a limit on what can be spent on a particular service call or whatever that may be, in theory, you are helping yourself manage the money so you don't get bad money spent or a repair that will just go on and on and on and cost tons and tons of money, and there's no accountability to it, when you very easily could have bought a new piece of equipment for the same price. So NTEs are set as a management system to help manage repair and maintenance. That's typically what it is. Most everybody does it in some form. The key issue is really, how do you manage the NTE? Let's take, for instance, a restaurant company. And they set all their NTEs, no matter what the service is for, is $500 and use that as the base. Well, a company like mine that I work for comes out to do a service call, and with our fees for labor, service fees, a truck charge, whatever may be there, we're at half or more of that just to get on site. So then you start taking whatever your hourly rate is, and you figure that in your head really quick, and there's not hardly anything that can be done, and you're going to be at the $500 limit. And then what happens is you have to stop, and you either have to go do a quote and send it in and get it approved, or you have to hopefully be able to get the manager on site or whoever to call someone and get an approval over the phone to raise the NTE so that you can continue to do the work. Many people say, well, what if the part's on the truck? Well, the tech can go out and get the part, but the tech may not know how much that part costs. Let's say that you have $300 in fees, and the tech figures out really quickly the part's is going to take care of the problem, but the part's $400. Well, that's $900. He can't just go get the part and put it on there, because then when you bill, you're going to be over the NTE, and there's a chance that it won't get paid, or at least it delays it for quite some time until you get proper approval after the fact. So while it seems like a really good idea to across the board put your NTE at 500, what you really should do is according to what the equipment is. If you're in the summer in Arizona, what is $500 going to do for you on your HVAC when it doesn't work? Are you wanting to manage it to 500? Are you going to move it up at a number that's 1,000 or 1,200 or something like that, where your tech has a chance to figure out what the problem is and get it resolved? How many times in the summer are you going to say no to a repair to get your air conditioner fixed? You're not. Or you have 3 fryers and 2 of them are down, you need them fixed. So you have to think about the number. If you're with a third-party provider, they can help you figure out what the average cost is, service call, for every piece of equipment you have. Say over the last year, here's what it's averaged. You can change your NTEs to kind of match what your average service call is so that you can get more work done the first time. Many times the people in the restaurant are like, why are you not fixing this? Why are you having to stop? And you have to explain there's an NTE set to it and so on. They say, can't you just fix it? No, you can't. No, you can't. You have to adhere to what the NTE of the customer is, which means you're going to leave, you're going to put a quote together, you're going to send it, you're going to wait for the approval of the quote, then you're going to reschedule a trip back, and they're going to pay more fees. It's not saving money, it's actually costing money when you do that. So you should at least think about, as a facility manager, adjusting the NTEs according to the problem. Same with a walk-in cooler or freezer. It should never be set at $500. Because when that is down, that cooler or that freezer, not only is it not working, you're losing product, and that's dollars. So you have to think about that as well. The intent is good, but the numbers don't work. That's like sending yourself to the store to get $100 of the groceries and you got $20. That doesn't work. Those things don't go together. The other part of NTEs is, and I had a conversation with a third party CMMS provider on this recently, and they were letting our company know that our first time fix number is not at the level that they want it to be. And they're right. It isn't at the level that we want it to be either. But part of the problem is the low NTEs that are set. We can't do a first time fix on their equipment under the current system of NTEs. And the answer was, well, we've talked to the customer, but they've set these hard and they don't want to move them. Okay, that's fine. But my company or any other company shouldn't be penalized for the fact that we're not getting them done at a rate that you want because of the low NTEs that are set. We have to follow protocol, and we're not allowed to fix it without getting additional approval. Many people say, well, just fix it and send them the bill. That isn't how it works. We're told up front what the NTEs are for the customer. We're not allowed to go over those. People say, well, the tech will figure it out in his head. Tech doesn't keep up with what parts cost, how much shipping is, next day shipping, any of that. They don't know that. They have in their head what our labor rate is. They know the fees to get on site, and you can calculate a additional hour labor in your head. But the other things they don't know. So asking your tech on site to give that to the customer and tell them when they're approaching an NTE, that just doesn't work. You're almost better to go to the quote system. Go out, figure out what the problem is, let the customer know if it's low NTE, go back, do a quote, and send it. But it costs the customer money. They're trying to save money, but they're not. NTEs are not a bad idea in the form when they're originated. What causes problems is they're set at such low amounts, or everything in their building is set at a low amount. Face it, a toaster doesn't seem to carry the same sort of weight that an air conditioner does. If you lose a toaster, you toast on the griddle. Not a big deal. Temporarily. And if you spend too much money on an NTE for a toaster, you could buy a new one. So I understand the reasons for that. But a walk-in cooler, walk-in freezer, air conditioning, if you're a breakfast place, you have to have griddles that work. That's what you cook the majority of your stuff on. Griddles are important. There's nothing more important in a pizza place than a pizza oven. That NTE should be higher so the tech has a better opportunity to come out, figure out what the problem is, go get the part or have it on his truck, and fix it the first time. Having low NTE is not saving money, it's driving money up. So if you do use NTEs inside your company, take a look at what the amounts are. Think about changing them. Maybe even change them, like I said, in Arizona, change them for the summer so that you have a chance to get it fixed. You can take them back down in the off year if you want to when it's not so hot. Even do it seasonally is better than not doing it at all. But having very low NTEs with the intent that you're going to save money, take a look. You're going to increase downtime, and you're actually going to drive your cost up. You're not going to save money, and it's going to cause a lot of frustration among your restaurants. So take a look at your NTEs, change the amounts, work on it together, and then both you and companies that do work like mine does can improve their first time fix, which is what everybody wants. That's our episode for today. Thank you so much for listening. We look forward to speaking with you again next week.